Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw tips and tricks. Somebody wants to design a box and not this one. This would be a lot of fun, but it would be a little bit difficult. But they don't want to use a living hinge. They want to use what these people use. He's calling them panels, which makes sense. What I do like about it, they're not touching. There's a little gap, so that's going to make it a little easier. We're going to make a box that's 8 inches. I'm going to hit P and put it in the center of the page. I'm going to Control D, and I'm going to make the second one 8.25. I'm going to grab the center one now. Well, and Control D, and make it 7.75. That'll give us a 1/2 inch lip, and this will be our ring. So we need to take that center ring, which is 8 inches, go up to Object and convert it to a curve, go up to Windows, Dockers, Properties, and hit this curve line right there, and we've got 25.13. We're going to leave off the other digits, so we'll be a little more, matter of fact, we're going to make it 25.1, and he can play around with that. I'm going to write down 25.1. Now, I'm going to take a 2-point line and going from the center, hold it, start moving, hold down the control button. I'm going to double click on it, and I'm going to move the center rotation to the node, which I missed, but I got it. You can always zoom in and double click on your line, and we're all good to go. Now go to Dockers or Windows, Dockers, and Transform or Transformation, depending on what version you have. I'm going to type in 360 divided by 25.1, and we get 14.4. We need 32. It's already done it. So this is going to be the length of our pieces of wood. So what we're going to do, and I've never really done this, I'm just kind of ballparking it. Let's go with the parallel dimension tool and go from that line, and we're going to make a straight line because the wood's going to be, well, we got lucky, it's 1 inch. Let's check another one just to make sure they're correct. Parallel dimension tool, go from that intersection to that intersection. Wow, really lucky. All right, so we got 1 inch pieces of wood. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take away, I'm going to give my virtual segment delete key, and I'm going to delete all these inner lines. I don't have to delete the outside one, so we're good. And I need to figure out, you know what, I'm going to try a couple of things. I might mess up here, back minus front, nothing changed. It might be not doing it because they're not grouped together, so that isn't going to work. Because I'm trying to find the center, but what we can do, so we're going to use a 1 inch tab. So we're going to make our tab, and let's say he's making out of plywood, and it is 0.125, okay? With our ratio unlocked, unlock our ratio, and we only want it, you know what, 0.5 would be good. So now we got a 0.5 tab. You know what? Yeah, I don't have to delete the, you know what I am going to do is group this together, Control G, so I can move it out of the way in a minute. Matter of fact, I'm going to make a duplicate of it and nudge it over. If you ever nudge when your nudge factor is low, just back up, nudge it back. So there's our duplicate. I am going to hit P and put this in the center of the page. Holding down the control button, I'm trying to get it to snap right. Now don't lose me here. Trying to get it to snap right to that intersection. Now, if you remember, we rotated 14.4. So we're going to try to rotate half of that. I'm going to bring in indexing lines just to make sure we're in the center. Hit P, grab one from over here and hit P, double click, and we're in the center. And we're only going to rotate it 7.2. That put it in the center of those lines. Now, if you remember, I grouped this together. So I can grab this again, Control D, double click on it, make it 14.4. Well, that didn't work. Oh, it's 14.4 there. Let's just get it close and see what it'd be. Okay, 14.4 plus 20. So what you can do if you're not good at math, 14.4 plus 7.2, and it gave us that 21.6. And then Control D, my rotation got off. So whenever you do that, just double check your rotation every time. Plus 14.4. There we go. Control D all the way around. And you could have used the transformation docker on this. Now, if you remember, we made a copy of it, so we can grab, or we grouped it, so we can put this out of the way. There's our tabs for our loop. So now what I'm going to do is take this one completely apart. I'm going to go to Object, Group, and Ungroup. I'm going to try to grab the outside circle and nudge it over. And if you remember, it's 8.25. I'm going to grab the center one and nudge it over. Now I'm a little bit, well, I would maybe make him a little bit bigger. And you could actually do that at this time. You could take this one and make it 8.4 and make the other one 7.6. So that made our gap a little bit, well, okay. I thought something looked funny. I had my ratio in a lot. So lock your ratio back. Lock your ratio back and make this one 7.4 or 8.4. Click off of it, click on the smaller one, make it 7.6. Now you have your ring. Not only are you going to have your ring, let's do this. Let's make a duplicate of this guy. I think I've already made a duplicate. Nope. Let's group this together, Control G. Let's make a duplicate, Control D, and nudge it up. Let's take the virtual segment delete key and delete that center. Well, see how the indexing line stopped it? So there's your bottom of your box. Control G to group. This is the top of your box. So it'll fit right on top of there. All right, I'm going to break this into 2 videos at least because it's, I don't like long videos. I think people get lost. Anyway, so stay tuned for part 2. Hope that helped. Thank you for watching.